Andrew Wilkie, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, all the experts seem to be giving you Denison. Are you still reluctant to claim victory?
Oh, I'm very reluctant to claim victory at this stage. I think the chances are 50-50, maybe a little better. I am well placed. We might pull it off yet.
What are the key factors that you believe were influencing the outcome there for you in what many see as a surprise victory? No doubt it wasn't a surprise to you, or was it?
Well, I was getting very positive feedback over many weeks, and it was absolutely clear to me that my big message about the electorate being taken for granted, it was clear that was resonating with the voters of Denison. It was also clear to me that there is an unprecedented level of dissatisfaction with big party politics, with the Labor Party and the Liberal Party, and there was an open-mindedness about a competent, credible independent coming along and representing the people.
What can you achieve for them there?
Well, I've said right through this that I would work with whoever wins government to ensure good outcomes for Denison and a fair share for Denison. If I'm successful, it may well be that I have an even greater capacity to bring real outcomes for Denison. And to put what I'm saying there in perspective, over the last 25 years, southern Tasmania has received about 10% of Tasmania's federal road funding. Southern Tasmania and Denison in particular have been very badly neglected over the last 23 years that this has been a safe Labor seat. So I want to rectify that as well as implement some of the many policies I took to the election.
So federal road funding is important for you. What other issues would you be bringing up?
Oh, look, there are many issues. I've been championing the need for reform of poker machine legislation for 18 months now, and that's something I'd like to see the federal government move on and implement some of the recommendations of the recent Productivity Commission report into gambling in Australia. Other issues, for instance, there are people in this electorate who can't live on their pension. The amount of their pension, be it an aged pension, a disabled pension, a carer's payment, it's not enough. They need to be increased and then better indexed so they keep up with the real cost of living. I want to see much increased funding for mental health care. It's unacceptable that mental health care in Australia is second fiddle to GP and hospital services. It really should be accorded the same priority. And an issue that has come up time and time again is the flawed funding model for education in this country. It's not about public schools or private schools, it's about a fair deal. A lot about what I'm on about is about a fair deal, and I think it's unacceptable that public schools, they teach 2/3 of our students but only get 1/3 of our federal funding.
So you've listed about 5 different areas there. Are they areas that you would be pushing the government on to get some sort of guarantees to secure your support in their efforts from whichever party to form a minority government?
Look, the most important thing, if I end up negotiating with both the parties, will be the public interest. And I ultimately, if I am elected, would support whichever party I am confident can deliver stable, competent and most of all ethical government. That's what it's all about. I'm open-minded about which party that would be, but there has got to be stable government in the public interest. It's got to be competent, it's got to be ethical. And then we talk about the many policies I've listed and many others that I've campaigned on. First and foremost, a better deal for the electorate.
Does either side look better than the other on any of those issues you've mentioned now in terms of stability, competence and ethics?
At this stage, it's evenly poised. I did have a phone conversation with the Prime Minister last night, who was clearly trying to build a bridge with me. I'm grateful for that call, but I'm not giving her any advantage over Tony Abbott. If I'm elected, I'm going to start with a clean sheet of paper, give both parties the opportunity to discuss with me what they're going to do for Denison and in regard to the many policy areas I've discussed. And I make the point repeatedly, I will support whichever one I have confidence can deliver stable, responsible and ethical government.
How do you judge which party will be better at pulling together a stable government?
Well, I really need to see, what both parties look like after the election. There's a lot of seats in play.
Brief discussion with the Prime Minister last night.
It was brief, about 4 minutes. It was a pleasant conversation. She started off by congratulating me. There was no negotiation going on. I think she was hoping to get a bit of a sense of which way I lean. But it was more about opening a channel of communications, which is good. No one from the coalition has done that yet, but if I'm successful, I'm sure they will.
Do you believe Tony Abbott has the similar negotiating and consensus building skills that Julia Gillard does?
Yes, I do. Look, I think both of those politicians, they're very competent politicians and they're very competent negotiators. I'm not giving either one any advantage at this point in time.
Okay, and finally, Andrew Wilkie, what do you think the likelihood is of a return to the polls pretty soon because of the instability of this situation? Presumably it would be in your interests to get a government up and running and keep it there for 3 years, but it all looks very uncertain at this stage.
I haven't met all of the other independents. I've met Tony Windsor. I haven't met the other two independents. I haven't met the Green. But I have a high level of confidence that all four of them, and might make five, would understand the importance of the public interest, and stability is absolutely paramount. And I think all of us would understand that, and all of us would work extra hard to ensure 3 years of stable government. It's in no one's interest, and certainly not paying respect for the people of Australia to be racing back to the poll. It's not good to have that sort of uncertainty. It's not good to spend that sort of money. People don't want it.
We heard earlier this morning that Tony Windsor and the two other independents, Bob Catter and Rob Oakeshott, are having some sort of phone hookup later today. You're not involved in that, are you?
No, I'm not, and it wouldn't be appropriate because I've still got to win this seat.
Yeah.
I think it is 50-50. I am heartened, of course, by the fact that many commentators are giving me the seat, but I just want to win it first and not say too much until I've done that, and then I'm sure I'll be on the phone to all of them.
Okay, Andrew Wilkie in Hobart, thanks for talking to us this morning.
Thanks very much.